They came on ships as mere numbers, but they never left their dignity behind. They were sold dreams of gold only to find hardship and struggle, but they never gave in. They saw inhumanity in its cruellest of forms, but they never wavered in their fight for a better life. 1860, the south of India, village upon village stricken with unrelenting poverty and pummeled by a series of deadly natural disasters. These were the beginnings of the men and women who made the daunting ocean journey as indentured labourers to the British colony of Natal. While some were compelled by the harrowing circumstances they faced in India, others thought of it as a great adventure across the open sea to a land that just also happened to also be known as the place where gold grew on the trees. Later, there would be many who would arrive unindentured in search of trade and a new life. But little did many of them know that they would be entering a system that was meant to replace slavery, which was abolished only 2.5 decades earlier. The new system may have changed, but its rendering was very much the same as the one it followed. The recruitment process was often fraudulent, some migrants being lured out of reasonably comfortable conditions in India with tales of wealth and wonder, only to be greeted by menial work and hard labor. The conditions on the ships were grim. While agreements between British officials in India and those in the colony of Natal stipulated that indentured labourers were to be treated fairly, interpretations of what this constituted exactly were far from what was intended. Cramped up in small, dark decks, there was often scant regard for their health and well-being. This, despite doctors and nurses being placed aboard the ships. Women were the target of unwanted sexual advances by ship crew. Food and water was rationed in tiny portions. The little recourse labourers had to complain was rendered farcical by the fact that many of the crew members only continued to act with impunity. Records exist that show some crewmen were charged for their actions. However, this was a system that clearly favoured the British, and many labourers merely grinned and bore the conditions, thinking perhaps that things would get better once they arrived. It would be a long time to maintain such courage and optimism, for it would take the average ship 30 days and nights for it to travel from India to South Africa. And it would not be the first time they would have to summon these virtues. The smiles, laughter and sense of relief that most would arrive with as they disembarked the Truro, and the many ships to follow, would give way very soon to the horrors of the barracks and later, those found in the cane fields.